Welcome to FyneEdgeEDC. I'm your host, Garrett Fyne. Thanks for stopping by today. Today's topic is the Vosteed Raccoon, a new release from Vosteed China. These have a great green micarta handle with a 14C28N blade. The stonewash is pretty good, does scratch. From the factory, this edge was very sharp, and with the thickness of the blade at 0.12 inches, it is very slicey and good for your everyday tasks. This model comes in a drop point blade. It also has a cleaver version if that's more interesting to you. It features a very nice action with the button actuated top liner lock. The drop shot action is fantastic. I'm definitely a fan of that. And with a finger safe lock, your fingers will never enter the path of the blade like you would with a liner lock. So the drop shot action for me is very preferable and pretty satisfying to play with. It does have a reversible pocket clip for you lefties out there, although the lock is not exceptional for lefty friendly. It is possible. The pocket clip itself is very nice. Comes in a satin finish. It is rounded on the sides, so there will be no biting there. The screws are very nicely recessed, so they won't be catching on your pocket and ripping that up. It is pretty deep carry, but not all the way. Personally, I don't mind. It gives a little extra to hang on to, hanging out of the pocket. It is a thumb stud deployment. As you can see, there is an anodized thumb stud on this one. I do like the accent. It would have been nice if they followed up with the accent on the backspacer as well to match. Would have tied it together just a little better in my opinion. Although not all top liner locks have a good detent for action, this one in fact does, and it pulls the blade back in on its own. So again, great detent. Overall, it comes in at a very light 3 ounces. It'll make it great for an EDC. There's very little flex in the handle, although I can squeeze some. The steel liners are full down the entire length of the blade, and that helps with the rigidity. Blade play itself, I can squeeze a little bit out in both directions, but not anything I would be worried about in the long term. Definitely in the acceptable range for a budget knife. In my opinion, it's worth it to have the bearings in there on the pivot to give it that great drop shot action. For the price point of $65, I'm definitely not upset with it. Another couple small details. I really do like the pivot design. It's subtle, yet has some very nice machining on there. The pocket clip is also reversible with a nice flush spacer here, making it very nice to carry. Tear down is really easy on this knife, just 2 screws, and the lock will stay with the liner, making cleaning very easy. Taking a closer look at the choil here, it has a lot of distance from the plunge grind to the edge, giving you lots of life for sharpening, if that's what you'd like to do. Overall, I think Vosteed did a fantastic job with this blade, and I will definitely be continuing to carry it myself. To help with size comparison, here are some very popular silhouettes. The Benchmade 940 and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. As you can see, it's somewhat between the two when it comes to size, much closer to the PM2 in blade width and thickness, giving it a very similar cutting experience if you're familiar with this blade. So for the very vast price difference of nearly $200, I think this is a great option for your everyday man. especially if you're willing to buy Chinese made. In the past couple of years, a lot of great companies have been coming out of China and the quality has been going up, so do not let that common misconception fool you. If you're interested in anything you saw today, there will be links down below. It does help support the channel, and I appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time.